All right, next up, we're going to find out the volume of a sphere here. Find the volume of the soccer ball. All right, in order for us to find the volume of a sphere, we're just simply going to use 4/3 times pi r cubed, okay? All that we really need here is to find out what the radius is. Once you find the radius of a sphere, you can find out the volume of it, okay? So let's just substitute this value. So the volume is 4/3 pi. R is our radius, so 4.5 cubed. See, our radius here, 4.5. So let's go ahead and simplify this now. The first thing I'm going to do here is the exponent of 4.5 to the third power. So that is, the volume is 4/3 pi times 91.125. Okay. If you wanted to work this out, what you would want to do is you want to multiply 4 times pi times 91.125 and then divide that by 3. But let's just go ahead and put in everything all together at once and see if it pops out the volume, okay? So the first thing I want to do first is let's find it in terms of pi. So I'm going to multiply the 4 and then 91.125 first. So 4 times 91.125. That's not it. Sorry. 4 times 91.125 is 364.5. And then we're going to divide that by 3. So whatever this is, divide by 3. So we get 121.5. So our volume in terms of pi is going to be 121.5 pi. And if we wanted to approximate this, 121.5 pi, we're going to get about 381.70, what is the units? Cubic inches, so inches cubed. Coolness. So that's just finding the volume of the soccer ball. Let's go do another. Yeah. Boom. So the surface area of a sphere is 324 pi square centimeters. Find the volume of the sphere. So now we're working with a different unit in order for us to find the volume of a sphere here, okay? So we are given first the surface area of a sphere. Once we find out what the radius is, then we could find the volume here, okay? So that's my line of thinking. Use the surface area to find the radius, because once we find out the radius, then we could find the volume. All right, so what is given to us? We know that the surface area is 324 pi square centimeters. So that means that, so surface area of sphere, right there, 4 pi r squared. So 324 pi equals 4 pi r squared, since that is what the surface area is. Notice here we have the radius and we need to isolate that to find out this, so that way we can get to the volume. Okay. What are we going to do to both sides first? I am going to divide both sides. When we isolate the variable r, I'm going to divide both sides by 4 pi. Again, the 4s are gone, the pi's are gone on the right side, they equal 1. So we're left with r squared equals, the pi's are gone too. Can 4 go into 324? So 324 divided by 4, it can, so 81. And so afterwards, we still have r squared, but we just want r. We're going to square root both sides. We're going to have plus or minus 9 is going to equal the radius, but since distance cannot be negative, we're just going to default for the positive 9 here, okay? So the radius equals 9. Okay, cool. So now that we have the radius as 9, we're going to use the formula to find the volume of a sphere to find out what the volume of the sphere is. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. The volume equals 4/3 pi r cubed. Thank goodness we know what the radius is now, which is 9 cubed. All right, so what's the first step over here? First, we're going to do exponents because of the order of operations. Sorry, it's all over there. So 9 cubed, which is 9 times 9 times 9. I don't know what 81 times 9 is. It's tough. 9 cubed. 729. Yeah, I would never have guessed that. So 4/3 times pi 729. All right, let's find out what this is in terms of pi first. If I wanted to do that, remember we could do 4 times pi times 729. So 4 times 729. 729 times 4 is 2,916. So now we have 2,916 pi over 3. Hopefully it's divisible. 2,916 divided by 3. It is 972. So our volume in terms of pi is going to be 972 pi. And what does this approximate to? 972 pi. 3,053.63628. 2 decimal places, round up. And the units here are going to be square, if it's centimeters, so centimeters cubed, cubic centimeters. So we found our volume by first knowing what the surface area is, manipulate it so that way we can find out what the radius is. And then once we find out what the radius is, we can find out our volume. And that's how we can use the volume of the sphere formula. Okay, that's it, bye.